Hey, this is Sri Vishnath here, and for those who don't know me, I help people attain self-realization in the fastest possible time in less than 90 days, but not the way you think. And for those of you who have not yet, picked up my latest report and want to, in fact, work with me, you can go to www.vishclass.com if you want to work with me one-on-one. All right. So clients come to me for various reasons, for attaining deeper spiritual experiences, for self-realization, for destroying blocks in money, health, relationships. And one of the challenges is when they're faced with difficult times, what is it that we should do the first thing? Because they go to spiritual teachers, they do this various meditation, they do various things, but everyone is like stuck up. What should you do when you're faced with a difficult situation? A difficult situation which is complex, which is recurring again and again. What should you do? Hey, Devaraj, good morning. So what should you do when you're faced with a difficult situation in a complex? So the answer is beautifully given by Krishna, Ramakrishna, everyone. The answer is renunciation. It's so beautiful and powerful. And for those of you who want to, work one-on-one with me, you can go to vishclass.com, www.vishclass.com. That's V as in victory, I as in India, S as in sugar, H as in honey, CLASS.com. All right. So I'll start with a very beautiful example. So Ramakrishna, you have to study Ramakrishna if you want to understand renunciation. So Vivekananda says, we have solved the problem of life. And that's renunciation. You can do everything in the sky. You can do social service. You can do this. You can use your mind. You can use the intellect. But he said, India has solved the problem of life, and that is renunciation. Everyone in the world is trying to solve it through either intellect or through money or through power or through fame or through network and saying this is going. But he says, Vivekananda says, we have solved the problem of life, that is renunciation. When you are faced with a complex recurring problem which is not going away, which is so complex, your solution is renunciation. I'm going to show you how. But first, you got to study Ramakrishna. He was the master of renunciation. If you want to understand anything about renunciation, study Ramakrishna. I'll give you a very simple example. So Sharda Devi was his wife, and so one day Ramakrishna, most of the time he was in Samadhi, so one day she gave him something to eat, and she gave him something more. And so she, without even Ramakrishna knowing, she like tied him in something somewhere in his loincloth. So what happened was Ramakrishna then went directly to the Ganges River because she had given him something extra other than what he needed. He directly felt so bad, he went to the Ganges River and was going to drown himself. This was an incarnation avatar. You got to understand. He said, birds and the great ones, avatar, they don't lay anything for the next day. I mean, you and I, our cases are different, but we have to realize what, and he was going to drown, but some other person, she sent some other person, and that person then rescued him. You got to understand how much is mind. His mind, see, I mean, you will never ever see anyone in the history of the world who has had mastery of renunciation. And the reason you got to study Ramakrishna is because you will learn how to renounce few things in our life. We don't have to renounce all those things which he did. Each one has got their own individual battle, but you will learn to renounce something very simple. What is it that you and I have to renounce? And so before I go any further, those of you who want to work one-on-one, we can go to vishclass.com, V as in victory, I as in India, S as in sugar, H as in honey, CLASS.com, and you can check out the details how to work one-on-one with me. All right, so what is it that you and I should renounce during complex recurring problems? You got to renounce your brain. If you remember what I said, so I want anyone that to write, renounce your brain. Why? Because the brain consists of everything, body, mind, and comprises 25%. I shared this earlier that brain is a small part of your mind. Your mind is vast. It's 25% of all karma happens in the 25% in your brain. Is that very clear? All your karma, whatever you do in the waking state, It happens only in the 25% of your, and that 25% is the brain. The remaining 75% in you is free. It's like the vast mind. But what we do is we fill that 75% with the suffering. It's not there at all. The 75% is free. There is no karma available. It's all Atman, Brahman. So the first thing you got to know is you got to get into that 75%. Get into it because it's there already. So you got to renounce your brain. This is a training. Yes, renounce your brain, meaning you renounce what happens when you renounce your brain? You renounce suffering. See, you renounce suffering. You got to train yourself because understand the outside world can only give you pain. No, whatever problem you have in money, health, relationship, let's keep money and health, money and relationships and decent health. I mean, I don't want to take very extreme cases of health, but it can only give you pain. It cannot give you suffering. So renounce your brain. See, renunciation should be included in your personality. Can you write that down? In your personality, renunciation doesn't mean you give up everything. You have to learn how the great ones renounced. In you, since you have karma, you have to renounce your brain. When you renounce your brain, you renounce suffering. And you enter into the 75%, which is free. You eliminate suffering. It's very, very important, yes. How do you do that? With simple thing. Renounce the first 30 minutes of your day in favor of God. So if after you get up, if immediately you pick this phone or you talk to someone, stop it for just, try it for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. See, if you can't renounce the first 30 minutes, then I suggest shut down this. I mean, there's no use of doing anything in spirituality. I'm telling you on your face. You may not like it, but that's the reality. If you cannot renounce the first 30 minutes in favor of God, nothing in spirituality will help you when you really, really want it. Everything in spirituality you become rich when you learn to renounce. Yes, renunciation should become part of your personality. If you do that, you will save decades. You don't have to spend 10,000 hours in meditation. You have to learn that we all have to get that renunciation. And what is renunciation for us? Not like giving up everything. It is like renouncing your brain. You have to renounce suffering and do your karma. See, you have to renounce because you have to understand that when you renounce your brain, you are renouncing suffering and you're having a higher manifestation. That is what Krishna wants. That's what God wants. That is what is your personality. That is when you will have achieved the purpose of your life. And when you renounce the first 30 minutes in favor of God, so you go and directly take a bath or you read, do your prayer or song or whatever it is, the first 30 minutes, if not 30 minutes, do 15 minutes. See? But do something. Don't fool yourself. You can learn all the scriptures. You can learn all the weird yogic and kundalini and all the chakras and all the drama. If you can't train yourself, if you can't put renunciation in your personality, in your face, then you've got to learn nothing in spirituality. And the reason why the spiritual teachers don't tell that is because they tell you no one will attend the sessions. Vivekananda says we have solved the problem of life. That's renunciation. So how do you do that? So I want to share one more quick tip. Before I do that, for those of you who want to work one-on-one with me, you can go to www.vishclass.com, V as in victory, I as in India, as in sugar, H as in honey, CLASS.com. If you want to work one-on-one. Okay. So yes, first 30 minutes. So how do you renounce? Simple. Use a word and an image. See, it's a very simple thing. We screw our life up through a word and image. So wrong word, wrong image gives rise to avidya. So wrong word plus wrong image is equal to avidya. And right word plus right image is equal to vidya. It is called Mula Vidya actually, which is where you go to you renounce your brain. Right word and right image. It's a very simple architecture of Ishvara, of Krishna. Right word. What's the word? You can use any word of Bhagavad Gita or Devi, any goddess or any whatever god you like. If I say Ram, so I'm saying a word Ram, and an image also comes. You can't say a word without an image. Did you get that? Same way, you can't think of an image without a word. So word and image are like they marry each other. They go together. So you use a word and image, and you train yourself to renounce. And when you use this word and image, yes, right word, right image. It's a very simple thing. And why do we do so many hours? Just to know that one right word and one right image is enough. To know that one word of Ram is enough to renounce the brain. But because we don't have the confidence, we do 10,000 times. Did you get that? The reason why we keep on repeating and we are told to repeat is because we don't have the confidence. But the fact is, one right word and one right image, you can renounce your brain. You have to train yourself to renounce suffering every single day, accept the pain, eliminate suffering from your system. See, train yourself. That's when you'll become a real man or real woman or whatever it is. If you think that you should not get pain, and then we are in a very wrong direction. Your job is to eliminate suffering. If you train yourself, if you really, really train yourself, as situations go, if you accept pain, you will notice pain will go in 5 minutes. I'm challenging you that if you remember to eliminate suffering, any pain will go away in 5 minutes. I'm in money and in relationships and in health to a certain extent. It will go away in 5 minutes because pain can last only for 4 or 5 minutes. It's karma. Karma can't last for more than minutes. It's like water hitting the shore. You see, when the water hits the shore, after that it dies away. Got it? So, just to quickly, for those of you who want to work one-on-one with me, you can go to www.vishclass.com. V as in Victory, I as in India, as in Sugar, H as Nani, CLASS.com. So just to quickly recap, the way to solve complex problems which are recurring is go to train to renounce. Renounce what? Renounce your brain. Why your brain? Because brain is only 25%. You have to again and again remind yourself that it's only 25%. 75% of your personality is free. And so you train yourself to renounce your brain in favor of the mind. How do you do that? By using a word and image, right word and right image. How do you practice it? By the first 30 minutes. Because renunciation is the holy grail of spirituality. We have solved the problem of life. That is renunciation. So renounce. Thank you very much. God bless you. Bye.